So the dust has settled on what has been a pretty dramatic week for basketball fans around the world. If you guys didn't know, we did crown a new NBA champion last night, which is the Milwaukee Bucks. So congratulations to Giannis, Chris Middleton, PJ Tucker, and the rest of the Milwaukee Bucks on a terrific season. And as far as CP3 goes, MJ crying meme and Tyra Banks, we were all rooting for you meme because we were all rooting for you, CP3. Like, how did you blow that? Like, it was a clear path. And I'm just not very optimistic that he's going to get as good a shot as he got this year because the West is coming back loaded. Everybody's coming back with a vengeance because if you had somebody that got hurt on your team, they want that chip next year. So best believe everybody's coming back and they want that ring. So just once again, shout out to the Bucks. But if you guys weren't at all in tune with the NBA Finals, you guys were probably in tune with Space Jam: A New Legacy, which did come out last Friday. And that did, of course, star LeBron James. So my thoughts and opinions on that film will be broken down into three different categories. The first being the plot, presentation, and cast. So let's just go ahead and dive right into my thoughts and opinions on the film, guys. All right, guys, so I'm gonna try my best not to spoil any parts of the film, so bear with me. I promise I'm gonna do my best. So we're gonna start off with the plot of the film, and we're gonna rate each category out of 10. So the plot of the film, if I had to rate it out of 10, I would probably give it a solid 8. I was very impressed with the, just that it wasn't the same as the original. So if the original film is something that really resonates with you, or if you are just a straight up Jordan fanatic, you don't care about LeBron at all, I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say this film is probably not going to be for you. I can already see a lot of the media outlets bashing this film, Rotten Tomatoes. There's a lot of other movie outlets that are just giving this film a lot of grief, and I just don't understand it. Like, at the end of the day, we got to remember that this film is made essentially for kids still. I mean, if you're a LeBron fan in your 30s, 40s, you can still go out and see it with your sons or by yourself, but this is essentially still a kid's movie. So I felt that that's something that they didn't really take into account, but I did love the plot of the film. I felt that LeBron and his sons, they pretty much played their roles to a T, and you guys can let me know what you guys think about their acting down below. LeBron is a little bit corny, but that was to be expected, and I just felt that the plot was pretty good for the most part, and that's why I'm giving it a solid 8. The next category that I would like to go over is the presentation aspect of the film. So watching the film, I actually watched it 2 times already because the first time I felt like I didn't overall grasp the theme and concept of it, but after watching it again with no distractions, I actually put my phone away so I could watch it the second time fully in depth and actually concentrate on it. I have to say that the presentation is a 10 out of 10, guys. It's amazing to me what they are able to do in Hollywood as far as graphics and just making the viewers seem like they are in a virtual reality film. So I felt that the presentation was top tier. They did such a great job with this film, and I feel like this is something the kids are really gonna like. So I was I was impressed with the whole film, but the presentation was something that I really gravitated towards. And shout out to all of the Hollywood actors, all the filmmakers, the cameramen, the crew that had any part in putting this film together. I have to give the presentation a 10 out of 10. The last category that I wanted to cover as far as the film goes is the cast members of it. So I was pretty pleased with the cast of Space Jam: A New Legacy. As you guys know, you do have LeBron James playing LeBron James. You had Cedric Joe playing LeBron James' youngest son. You had Sierra Wright playing the older son. You had Sonequa Martin Green playing LeBron's wife. And as far as the supporting players go, you had Damian Lillard, Diana Taurasi, Klay Thompson. There was a couple other players that I won't mention just if you haven't seen the film because, like I said, I don't want to spoil it for anybody that hasn't seen it. And I felt that the supporting cast was pretty strong. Don Cheadle played the antagonist role greatly. I just love that. I mean, he's a really good actor. He surprised me. So shout out to Don Cheadle for just everything he did for the Space Jam: A New Legacy movie. And I feel like the cast was pretty top tier in my opinion. So if I had to give them a rate 1 out of 10 or 1 to 10, I would probably give the supporting cast of A Space Jam: New Legacy a solid 9. Guys, so now that we are finished broadcasting our thoughts and opinions on the new Space Jam movie, it is now time for the second segment of today's video, where I get to show you guys my top 5 LeBron sneaker pickups of 2021. These are just some of the LeBrons I have so desperately coveted for this year, and I was very excited to add these to the personal collection. So without further ado, grab a seat, grab a snack, and let's go ahead and see the top 5 LeBrons that I've been able to add to my collection. Alright guys, so getting things started on our top 5 LeBron pickups of 2021. Coming in at the number 5 spot, we have the LeBron 7 Los Angeles Dodgers. So the first time that I saw this sneaker was in the NBA bubble last year when LeBron James was in the NBA Finals against the Miami Heat. And as soon as I saw images of this colorway, I knew that I had to have these in the personal collection. So Nike did go ahead and decide to bless us with this particular colorway earlier this year. And I was very blessed to be able to get these early and actually do a review on them. And I just love the route that Nike took on this particular colorway. I love that LeBron James paid homage to the Los Angeles Dodgers, and this blue patent leather wrapping all the way around the overlay is just amazing, guys. And as you can see, if you look closely, you do see that you have this palm tree print etched into the patent leather as well. And I just love how subtle but vibrant this colorway is at the same time. And then finishing off this colorway, as you guys can see on the very top of the tongue, you do have that baseball stitching, which obviously pays homage to not only the Dodgers, but your official Rawlings baseball. So I felt like this was a stellar colorway, something that we hadn't seen the first time around in 2009. But shout out to Nike for thinking outside the box and giving us a really dope colorway. So you guys can let me know what you guys think about these down below in the comments section, and we will go ahead and get into the number 4 sneaker. The number 4 spot on this list goes to the Nike LeBron 9 Kentucky Player Exclusives. So just to give you a little background knowledge on this sneaker, the Kentucky Wildcats won the national championship back in 2012 after capping off a wonderful season and beating the Kansas Jayhawks in the national championship. That team featured stars like Anthony Davis, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, Marcus Teague, and many others that went on to have a lot of NBA success. And that year, Nike and LeBron decided to gift Kentucky with this very special Nike LeBron sneaker. And you know, this was one of the sneakers back then that I always dreamed of having. And fast forward 8 years later, we do have these in our personal collection. So I don't know whose particular shoe this was on the team, but this is my personal size 12, so I obviously wear it a lot. And this is just one that, you know, 13-year-old me would have, I mean, this is a shoe that I always wanted in my collection. So to finally have these, it just means a lot. And you know, being from Kentucky, this is just a shoe that I always wanted. It's a collector's piece. I always remember like Kentucky wearing these during that season, and I was just like, how do I get my hands on them? Not knowing that they were player exclusives at the time, but fast forward, like I said, you know, you make a couple deals and you have the opportunity to purchase PEs. Definitely try and do that, guys, because there's nothing against general release shoes, but when you can get something of like rarity and something as special as a Kentucky player exclusive, it definitely means a lot to me. And you know, the royal blue or the Kentucky blue going all the way around, you have your white pearl accents going all the way around the overlay as well. And then you guys know what time it is when you guys see the Kentucky logo smack dab on the tongue right here. So this is definitely one of my favorite LeBron pickups of all time. And it just brings me back to a time when Nike basketball was very prevalent in the sneaker game, because now it's obviously ran by a lot of Yeezys, runners, and Nike basketball has kind of fallen off. But back in 2012, LeBron 9s, KD 4s, and the Kobe's, they definitely ran the sneaker game, and this is always going to be a shoe that holds a special place in my heart. So at the number 4 spot, I felt there was no better way than to do it with the LeBron 9 Kentucky Player Exclusives. Moving on to the number 3 spot on this list, we do have the LeBron 7 More Than a Game. So if you guys are unfamiliar with More Than a Game was a film that came out in 2008, which covered LeBron James and St. Vincent St. Mary's magical run before LeBron James ascended into NBA stardom. To coincide with this classic film, Nike decided to release a world tour pack of these sneakers featuring 10 different cities, being Shanghai, Beijing, New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, Shenyang, Paris, Washington, D.C., London, and lastly, the King's hometown of Akron. So besides the More Than a Games featuring the famous colors that the St. Vincent St. Mary Fighting Irish don, the standout feature of the More Than a Game pack comes on the medial side of this sneaker nearing the back of it. So as you guys can see, we do have this small panel near the back, and for every single city, there is a different image on this back. So on this New York City pair, you do have LeBron James. I believe he is screaming out a play to his teammates, and this picture can also be seen on the very top of the tongue as well. So there's just a lot of great details about the More Than a Game pack. As you guys can see near in the bottom of the this shoe, we do have the splatter green midsole, and you do have this metallic gold swoosh. You have your metallic gold, I don't even know what this is called, the metallic gold pin with the L23 crown logo. And there's just a lot of great detailing on this sneaker, guys. So if you haven't had the privilege to see the More Than a Game film, please do yourself a favor and go watch that film in the near future after seeing this video, because it just really takes you on the journey of LeBron James before he had the NBA stardom, before the NBA fame. He was pretty much just a kid from Akron like he details now. And the More Than a Game film just does a really great job of inspiring young and upcoming basketball players to really just go full force on their dreams. And I just love that film. I could watch it right now if I wanted to. I've seen it a billion times, but I just can't harp on it enough that this shoe means a lot to me, and I just love the Same Fits and Same Mary colorway on this sneaker. So at the number 3 spot, we do have the LeBron 7 More Than the Games. My number 2 LeBron pickup of 2021 has to go to these LeBron 10 PS Elite South Beach Nike IDs. So if you guys don't know what Nike ID is a platform that allows users to go in and customize their Nike sneakers from scratch using the color palette that Nike decides to provide us with. So back in 2012, or 2013 rather, there was the LeBron 10 Nike IDs, but once they went into the postseason, Nike did bless us with a LeBron 10 Nike PS Elite ID option, but that was met with a lot of controversy, because if you guys don't remember, the LeBron 10 PS Elite on Nike ID was a hefty $395, and only 7th grade me could only dream of having a Nike ID LeBron 10 PS Elite. So fast forward to 2021, I was surfing the internet, I was surfing on LeBron Marketplace, and I happened to come across a guy who was selling this particular colorway, and I was just like, those are really nice. So I ended up messaging him, we worked out a deal, and voila, they are in my possession now. So just being a big fan of the South Beach theme, as you guys can see, I'm wearing a South Beach LeBron shirt, and you know, I didn't hit the LeBron 8 South Beaches today, but just believe that there will be a delayed W on that colorway, but this will suffice for now. Just look at how good these look, guys. I mean, there's just so many intricate details on this particular colorway that I love. We have that vibrant pink inner liner. We have this flamingo pink outsole right here. And I just love the vibrant teal or South Beach hits on the overlay right here. The LeBron 10 PS Elite has always been one of my favorite sneakers of all time. So the minute I saw that these were available, I went and purchased these with no hesitation. You guys can let me know what you think about these down below in the comment section. But you know, anything South Beach, I'm always gonna gravitate towards, because that was just such a, you know, profound time in my life that I wanted to acquire everything LeBron, you know, the decision, everything that happened around that time was so great, and I just loved his time with the Miami Heat. So this was definitely one that I wanted to add to the personal collection. So coming in at the number 2 spot, we have the LeBron 10 PS Elite in that South Beach Nike ID colorway. So coming in at the number 1 spot on my top 5 LeBron sneaker pickups of 2021, we do have the LeBron 8 Gym Red. So if you guys don't know about this sneaker released a couple months ago, and I had to go through the Go app to get these because these only released in Beijing. And I mean, what more can I say about these guys besides the vibrant red all over the upper? And there's just so many quality materials on this sneaker. So as you guys can see on the toe box and going all the way around the overlay, you do see that we have this nice, I guess, rough material. I don't even know what it is, but it just reminds me of if you guys have ever had a leather belt and it has been used. That's what this material reminds me of. It's just very rough, but it is very nice to the touch. And you also have these very nice vibrant panels of red nearing the back as well. And I just really gravitated towards these because I thought that these reminded me of something he would have wore back when he played for the Miami Heat, maybe like a player exclusive of some sort. And I just love the route that they took with these, because these were not seen on the original LeBron 8 colorways, and Jason Petrie just went into his bag for these. I just love everything about, I just love these. And you know, the one thing that a lot of people don't know is when you take a look at the bottom of this sneaker, it is done in that Empire J colorway, but these do have a vibrant glow-in-the-dark outsole. So when you're out in the public for a couple minutes, go back inside and the glow-in-the-dark outsole is going to hit. I will go ahead and put a video up on the screen of just how vibrant this glow-in-the-dark outsole is. And you know, I am very glad that I was able to add these to the personal collection. I thought that these would have released in the States by now, but the only thing that released in the States as far as the Gym Red colorway goes is, I believe, baby or grade school sizes of these, not any men's pairs. So fingers crossed that we do see a men's release for these in the States, because I know a lot of LeBron fans still want these in their personal collections. And after seeing official images of these, I knew that there was no way that I could not have these in my personal collection. So coming in at the #1 spot, I felt there was no better way than to round this list off than with the LeBron 8 Gym Red. All right, guys, so this pretty much wraps up today's video. Let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions on my top 5 LeBron sneaker pickups of 2021 thus far. Also, if you saw Space Jam: A New Legacy over the weekend, go ahead and sound your thoughts off on that film down below. Was it good? Was it bad? Was it so-so? Obviously, being a LeBron fan, I'm gonna be a little biased and say it was pretty good, and I love that he was able to fulfill the starring role in such a classic film. If this is your first time taking a look at my channel, thank you guys for tuning into today's video, or if you're a returning visitor, thank you guys for tuning into my channel once again. It just means a lot to me when I can retain my audience and just continue to push out great content for you guys. You guys motivate me on the daily, and I just love that you allow me to pretty much put my passion of sneakers on display all the time. So I can't thank you guys enough for your continued support. We are on the road to 2,000 subscribers, so if you guys could help me get there, I would greatly appreciate it. So be sure, if you guys haven't smashed that subscribe button, do it for me. That's all, folks. Stay safe, stay blessed, and I will see you guys on the next video.